Fix it in post.
Fuck that, bro. We need to stop doing that. We need to stop fixing things in post and let's do it right the first time.
The first time.
That's the way to do it.
Okay. Well, today we're on the Round Block podcast where we like to talk to people, not about them. On today's episode, we have Wiz Kalima, aka the Wizard, aka Prime Footage, or Big Germ. And
man.
co-hosting this podcast, we have the guy that feeds the children of Hilo.
Oh, God.
Yes.
We
Mr.
have
Boffins.
the infamous Kyle Douglas, DJ Rum Runner.
So,
Okay. What's up, guys?
What it do?
Thank you guys for taking your guys' time out and jumping on this podcast with me. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Okay, so the reason why I wanted to do this podcast with you, Jeremy, is because I've noticed that you've had a viral video recently.
You can say that.
I think you have a viral video like every year, though. You have one viral video a year.
Yeah, it's not even intentional, though. It's just we just document things that happen here, and it just happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just our support group too that we have. It just blows up from time to time.
Not only that, you guys are always there. You guys work really hard, and if you hear something that might or could happen, you guys drop everything and fuck. You guys are there.
Yeah, you have to. You know, like this is our home. Like, you got to.
And I like what you just said, that this is our home, so you have to.
Yeah, it's like it's our responsibility in a way to, like we're gonna tell the story the best because we're from here. Like
True.
Why would you want somebody else from outside to tell the story when you'll know how to tell it the best?
Yeah. You get a more honest narrative of what's going on.
Yeah, and like you'll have like a more respectful view on everything from the culture, from everything. Because I've worked for productions where they're super disrespectful, and it's like for us as Hawaiians, we have to educate them. That's just how it is.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
100%.
So that brings me to another topic I wanted to talk about is haters in the local community against other locals. And this is something that personally I've never understood. Once in a while, somebody will do something that I'll think, man, I wish I was a part of that too. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I won't go and shit talk them or say anything negative. And for me, that attitude and that energy needs to stop too, because I kind of see it growing, and the hate's growing when the love should be growing, the law should be growing. So when you have a local person doing something with the community, you're going to get the most pure narrative from the community. So I think that's a good thing. We don't need to bash on other locals that are trying to do something for the community or with the community, or even I guess we'll go and update everybody, our listeners, on to what your viral video was about.
Oh man. So pretty much like it was about kayakers going over Rainbow Falls. It was with Dane Jackson and this new guy, Hayden. But pretty much like we got the call from Sean Pila. Sean Pila told us that Dane's back in town and Rainbow Falls was going off. And when Rainbow Falls hits a certain water level, like they study this very, very scientifically. They're very professional at what they do. So yesterday was the day. He's been here for a few days. Yesterday was the day, and he reached out to help, and then us being in the community and stuff like that, it's like we're gonna help our friends, do what we need to do. But yeah, it became. We made the video. They did the falls. No one got hurt. Everything happened, and this morning I wake up to just controversial hate.
Yeah.
And it's like why are we doing that? Why are we trying to pull people down when like we should just be all loving each other, help each other grow? You know what I mean?
Supportive.
Like like what we try and do too is we try and break barriers, and like over here it's like no one really wants to break those barriers. Once you start trying to chip away at the barrier, boom, everyone comes in with their all suggestions and this and that. You know, keyboard warriors, that's what I call it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like video games. You know,
Net bangers.
Yeah. There's so many of those keyboard warriors that it's like, if you understand who we are and what we're trying to do, you know, like you'll step back and realize like, wow, like this is a local team helping them. You know what I mean? It could have been an LA company.
Yeah.
It could have been a production that came down from anywhere else, but
Like,
you know,
I totally understand what you're going through too, because every once in a while I have outer island friends or whatnot, you know, and then we're like, you know, they want me to take them location scouting for videos and whatnot. And although I'm from Oahu, I grew up in Maui, but I live here now. You know, I know good locations. And for me, you know, whenever you're going to one of these locations, if you do it with good intention and the environment, you know, it isn't harmed, you know, you pick up your rubbish, you know, we don't come in and disrespectfully thrash the place up.
yeah,
you know,
sure.
and I also and I do feel it's my responsibility, and to me it's a good thing that when I do take them, I know the local culture. I know the energy of each area. So a lot of them are like, hey, Keone, if you're gonna take them surfing over here, tell them don't tag it, don't geotag it,
Yeah.
don't get don't get anything in there that's gonna expose the spot and these disrespectful. Is disrespect. We don't have problems with tourists that come in respectfully. It's one.
No, we
bad
just give them a hard time sharing. That's all it is. We just give them a hard time sharing for real though. Like, that's just how it is. Like,
I think we learned that the hard way with the North Shore. It's the most cracking surf spot in the world. So how many locals live there now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone got pushed out.
Everyone got pushed out. They can't afford to live there. The whole dynamic of the old school North Shore families and stuff. A lot has changed. A few big money players came in, and they have corporate sponsorships that buy corporate houses right there on the front of North Shore and stuff. And to me, for these companies like that coming in, if they can come in with a respectful, attitude, and the people that they bring in, because now if they're gonna put a house right there on the front, it's their responsibility to educate the people that are gonna stay at their house. So I feel like like what you did when you filmed them, you're educating them. Not only that, he comes here every year.
Yeah, he's very well. Like Dane Jackson is very, very well educated on falls. On he's done Wailuku River how many times? He has a bunch of videos on YouTube. Like Rainbow Falls is a walk in the park for this guy. He's done. He's done crazier features out there.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. That thing was not. To me, it might be a walk in the park for him, but I was losing it, bro. Like I was with Kyle. Kyle, we were just like, bro, did you see what Germ just posted, dude? He's like, holy. We started, we had a whole conversation about how crazy that is.
And it was so last minute and so random. Like I was literally like editing because I had to catch up on Saturday's edits, and then I get a call and I'm like, oh yeah, we have to go. Like this is crazy.
Document it, and not only document it, but you're there to make sure it's done in a very respectful manner. I feel, and anytime you involve a local person instead of bringing your LA film crew here, it just to me it makes more sense if you can use a local.
But that's the problems too with production companies these days. Kyle knows about this. Like all they do is hire production assistants, which is the low class on the totem pole. It's very rare that they hire locally. Like I know for the fact on Big Island, like a lot of the times they hire everyone from LA or from New York. They bring in their whole crew, their whole camera crew. When it's like we have so much talent on just this island and all the other islands that we could literally build our own crew, like camera crew, assistant cameras, directors. We can do that, and like just work with the client. But it's like everyone wants to come to Hawaii. It's their, You know, it's
Dream
considered
destination.
it's their dream destination, and it's
Bucket
like their
list.
vacation and their bucket list to come and film here. You know, like I think it's sad. Like, you know, I was just on a production with it was Nat Geo last week. And then it was they were pitching it to Shark Week. And like just that whole production, like, you know, I was glad enough like I got to be an assistant editor for that show, but at the same time, like I looked at the crew and no one was local.
Yeah.
Not
know,
even the
like-
sound guy.
Not even the sound guy.
Oh, that hurt Kyle's feelings
No,
because
no,
Kyle
no,
is a
'cause
sound guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I know
no,
a union guy here on island.
No, yeah,
Otherwise-
there's 2 union guys here.
Yeah.
You know, but they weren't on this shoot. It was somebody completely different.
Well, they might have been busy.
Yeah. They're always busy. Like, you know, I know for a fact there's 2 union guys that's audio guys here. You know, one's in Honokaa and I think the other one's in Kona, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
something like that.
But they're always on Oahu doing other shoots, you know? They're either on 5.0 or at the time they're
Well,
always
Magnum
on 5.0.
now.
Yeah, Magnum now.
Yeah. Okay, so what would, in your guys' opinion, you know, I'm gonna ask both of you guys. So, no, repeat what Jerm said, Kyle. But so what would be a healthy, you know, meeting point? So what could happen that would make you feel like, oh, okay, well, you know, they met you halfway, or they're meeting us, you know, Hawaii residents or Hawaii filmmakers or sound guys. What's a good in between point that we could meet at that would be, you know, mutually beneficial, where they're not just coming in, you know, making all this money and then taking it right back out. You know, we get a little bit of that action too.
I think for them, it's just they're not educated. They think there's no one like this here. You know, a lot of them that I've met personally, like when we worked with Nickelodeon a few years ago, like me talking to the executive producer, he didn't realize there's drone guys here. You know, so it's like I ended up working 2 seasons to do the drone work for him while I was doing media management. You know, like I just think in productions when they come from the mainland is they want to stay with their clique. They want to work with people they trust.
Yeah.
So it's hard to break those walls down.
And I understand that too.
Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
understand it. But it's like, you know, it's the fine line. Like, why do we have to just come in as PAs all the time?
Like,
You know, like Kyle's worked on a bunch of
big production
shows that he's just a PA.
Yeah.
You know, like me, I've been in the game long enough where I had opportunities to be a media manager, assistant editor, DIT work, you know, for huge companies that, you know, like it's all the same. After a while, it's all the same working for these productions. It's just a job next. What's next? But yeah, Kyle can explain.
You built a good portfolio for doing good work with these people. So
Yeah, it's just and it was all word of mouth. A lot of the times it was just word of mouth. Like the way we got into productions was because I was working on a drone demo reel, bro. It was just right place, right time. Like I was at the drag strip in Hilo, like filming race cars. Just so happens one of the audio guys from Nat Geo was there, and they're working on a TV show, and that was my introduction into productions.
oh wow, that's cool.
And then from there, it just, that crew, you know, spread the name like, oh, Prime Footage, them can do drone stuff for you. Yeah. And then that's
footage.
no, and then that's how it just trickled down into the next production. And another big one was with Sean Pila.
Yeah.
Because Sean Pila is the go-to guy for any productions here on the island.
Oh, yeah.
He is the guy.
Yeah. You just introduced me to him like maybe about a month ago when we were doing the FPV drones, and you know, I heard all kind of good things about Sean too. So it was real cool to meet him too, because we have a couple of mutual friends that he did kick some jobs to. So that kind of stuff is, I think it's you know, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and his fiance is, she does all the permitting, all the film permitting here on the islands. So it's like it's a double threat. It's a power couple of them too.
Oh, dude, dope.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so Kyle, what's your experience working with all these you know, these big production companies that come into Hawaii and you know, no filter either, just
I feel like
Talk your
what's
shit.
holding us back is that a lot of these mainland production companies, they fly in and they expect, or they think that they have to bring union guys to operate a camera, operate a sound mixer. And it's kind of hard for us because right now it's hard for us to break through into union work. Like last year, I was actually like 30 seconds away from getting my break to work in the local union. Basically, got a call middle of the night saying, "Hey, we need somebody to help set up Mary Monarch. Are you available? What's your phone number?" And I missed it literally by 30 seconds, and I was just like, "Oh crap!" But yeah, I feel like if you're not union, you have like a 10% chance of getting on the production.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. It's crazy how that is though.
So but I think a lot of the smaller productions, going back to like being conscious of like the local heritage and stuff, like
Cultural standing, yeah.
They try to be respectful. Like sometimes, especially on the smaller ones, they'll try to film somewhere and they're like, do you think it's culturally appropriate if we do this shot? And then
they always try and do that. But you know, I've been on ones where it's like they start doing that,
and
then they're like, when they're not getting the story because of budgeting and time frame, that's where it all changes. They're like, we need this shot, we need this, we got to do this, you know, like, and it's just like the director yelling at everyone. And it's just like, are we gonna do this or not? Like, what are we doing? Like, it's because of the client, you know. When the client, like, most people don't realize, like, a lot of the productions, there's a time. Or if it's like a 6-week shoot or a month shoot, there's a time where the client actually comes in, and that's when everyone is high stress.
Yeah.
Because they have to prove to the client that their money is being well spent.
Yeah.
And everyone's just high stress, and they're like, oh my God, what's going on?
That reminds me of the crazy story at Hopuna on the Nickelodeon show.
Yeah.
I got stuck. Well, we were thinking, oh, we're gonna have an easy day, but the executive from Nickelodeon flew in, and me and Preston were tasked with charging camera batteries, and we had to hike up this hill, and then hike back down with fresh batteries. And the thing was, literally 10 minutes there, they called Preston to go drive a van, and so I was the only guy slinging batteries, and in the middle of the day, after so many hours, like I'm feeling beat. I've already walked like 8 miles. I'm sitting down trying to take like a 2-minute break, and one of the supervisors walks up and is like, "Hey, I need you to look busy." And then the supervisor above her stepped in and was like, "No, he's good. He's walking up and down all day, being the only one making sure that the cameras are still rolling."
Yeah, that was like your first production too. Yeah,
the first big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a smaller one where I did sound mixing, but it's not that well known.
Yeah, I remember like the whole Nickelodeon shoot when they came to Waikoloa. It was funny because the first season we went, Sean Pila brought us on, and then like I literally demanded I'm not being a production assistant if I hop on their show. Like, I told him straight, I'm like, I'm not doing PA work. Like, I've done too many of those to even do that.
I gotta ask you, what don't you like about being a PA then?
You're literally the guru. You literally have to do everything. Like, anything they say, like, get my coffee, get this. I'm like, bro, you're a bitch. Production assistant, you're a bitch. Like, straight up. Like, and it's like, I don't know. I've been in the game so long. It's just like, I know how to do what they're doing. I know what the camera guys can do. I can do everything. And then just so happens when I got there, like, they made me fill out the PA work, but I ended up working side by side with the executive producers. And, you know, like, literally saved the show because they had no one to do what I offered.
Yeah.
You know, it would have costed them grands if to ship a guy down and house him and stuff.
Oh, totally. And per diem.
You know, per diem and all of that, because I wasn't a union guy. You know, for them, I saved them money in a way.
Yeah. So, I mean, in retrospect, it's kind of a good thing that, you know, they're not bringing their union people here per se.
Well, I think like for us, like you know how Kyle was saying, like we have
Freelance.
chances of freelancers
And also
That's
building a
productions,
portfolio.
You know, yeah, it's all about freelancing. You know, that's how it is nowadays. Even like with the whole social media, like there's so many more freelancers. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
but a lot of these freelancers they didn't put in the time, so a lot of people get irritated. Like, oh, he didn't put in the time. How did he get into this or this and that?
So would you say there's a little bit of jealousy and stuff?
No, there's a lot of jealousy in this stuff, man. Like it's about egos. Everyone wants to feel their ego. And
Yeah,
it's just, at the end of the day, it's just like, is it really worth it?
Yeah. I mean, so I always try to, like, I want to understand that energy behind why people feel upset or, you know, their comments on social media and stuff is very hate driven, you know, and they create this mob mentality of, you know, trying to get others that feel jealous or some type of way to jump on this topic or and just kind of, you know, attack you basically, right?
No, yeah, you know, like, dude, even when like you first came here, like I remember a lot of people attacking you, and I'm like, personally, like I never knew who you were. You know?
Yeah.
Personally, I didn't know you. I didn't understand your brand, you know, but I wasn't gonna make a judgment on you and just be like, well, fuck that guy, fuck this, you know. No, it's not. That's not what it's like. People just do not want to educate themselves.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue, you know. Like, take time to get to know them. Like, after I got to know you, like, understood what you did in the community, like, bro, you're a standout guy, you know. Like,
Thank you.
no, it's true though.
Yeah.
Because I hear a lot of stuff about you, you know, and it's just like, you need to go there and hang out with him, and like you'll see what type of guy he is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always trying to create avenues for everybody. And there's this, I guess for me, what I know in, you know, even in the streetwear community and stuff is, and what I do for a living is, you know, I've done this since I was a kid though, you know. So it didn't fall into my lap. It didn't come overnight, you know, something that I worked on, you know, doing my whole life.
Put in the time.
Yeah, I put in my time, definitely. So, you know, when people that just, you know, fall onto my social media page or whatnot, or learn about me through word of mouth or whatever, they probably do get, you know, they misjudge me 80% of the time, you know. I mean, I'm not the perfect guy, dude. I like to rage and I like to have fun too, but you know, my intentions and stuff is to open up avenues and create something good from Hawaii to put out there in the world. So, you know, like with me and my all my brands, because I got a few of them now, that it's, you know, I spend locally, you know, I hire locally, I spend locally, and I promote locally too. You know, it's not just the fact that, you know, I'll work with other locals, but I promote them too. I want them to get jobs. And if you get a job, it's not taking money out of my bank account, or it's not taking food off my kid's plate and going directly into your guy's mouth. You know, you get what you work for. And people need to understand that you get what you work for. And being a keyboard warrior or a net banger and complaining about other people's good fortunes that, you know, mainland companies do want to come out here and work with you guys, they shouldn't feel angry about that or frustrated or how did he get this, you know? Like, you know, I've known you for a very long time now, and, you know, you have history. Prime Footage has so much history in the video community and stuff. You know what I mean? From Video 8, you know, you guys had...
we had a bunch of stuff. You can go so far back.
Yeah.
Like, so far back. It goes back to like Halo 2 days. Like that's like
yeah.
when montages were a thing, you know.
Oh, you made video game montages?
Video game montages, bro. Like that's how it started.
Yeah, dope. So why won't you play COD with me then?
Dude, like, bro, I cannot. I get too addicted to video games. That's my problem. I get too addicted.
He has to bug me to get me to play.
Yeah, dude. Like once in a while when we're working, like we're editing clips, and the load time takes forever because we're editing. You know, we're loading up hour and a half, and then, you know, so it's like going so slow. I was like, Kyle, bro, jump in my party, dude. Let's jam some games, dude. But No, even for me, I can be honest about that, dude. I'm very obsessive about what I do. So I will go all out in video games, and I can't get off a game until I get a dub. You know what I mean? And I'll even like jump parties. Like, okay, I'm gonna go play with my other friend because he's a little bit better. Yeah, it's like, oh, dude, let's try catch a dub, dude. But
Yeah.
I totally get that.
It's addicting, bro. Like for me, it's like I'm the same way. Like I'm just gonna donate all my time to it, and it's just like when you have clients breathing down your neck, it's like you just can't. Like you have. I just stay away from it because I already know I'm gonna get sucked in.
For real, oh, dude, because I heard you're really good. I heard like everybody I talk to tells me how good you are, and you're a good drone pilot. And I think that kind of stuff kind of helps.
Oh,
plays into it,
definitely.
right?
Yeah, suits. Video games played a huge part into droning.
Yeah,
Big time.
yeah. Because I mean, Kyle never plays, but he drones regularly and stuff. And we were playing the other day. I was just like, dude, you're pretty decent. You know what I mean? Like.
But he's busy, feeding the children.
Shout out to Kyle for feeding the Hilo children.
Yeah,
Now, not
shout
only
out the
Hilo,
food basket.
food basket. So Kyle,
We do 8 drops across the island.
yeah. That's and we'll do a podcast about about the Hawaii food basket.
Yeah.
In sometime in the near future, I guess as restrictions are lifting and things are getting somewhat back to normal. I don't think the economy is going to bounce back, super quick. Yeah. It'll take a little bit of maybe a year or two for economy to even bounce back to normal. So
it's gonna be a while. But I love what they're doing. It's super awesome. Like
who did that video that you showed me yesterday? Oh,
Easton.
Easton did a good piece, and I liked
that.
I like that what he said about on that piece that Easton put together about how they hope they lose their job.
Yeah, they're in the business to put themselves out of business.
Yeah. Like they can't, because they're providing free food and stuff for families that don't have money and stuff, and they want to be out of business, which means the families have food. They have food on the table. So I was like, oh wow, that's heavy. That's a heavy statement, and it's also a good one.
It's definitely needed too, with everything going on.
So with all this, with the economy opening back up, I'm sure you can. I'd like you to touch up on this, and I'll give my personal opinion on it also. With tourism returning, how's the energy in Hawaii and stuff with the tourists back?
Oh, I feel like it's more intense. Honestly.
It is, right?
It's very, very high energy. Like,
Yeah.
Like at one point, when COVID first hit, like that was the first time I seen locals at a beach in a long time.
Yeah.
It would just be like, wow, shoot, it's been a while since I've seen the Kyoka boys at the beach, or it's it's been like so long since I've seen Uncle, because like no one was there.
Because we all have to work.
Yeah, because we all have to work. We all
a two-bedroom is $3,000 a month.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's so true. But then, like nowadays, like I went to the beach the other day and I'm just like, wow, we're back in session, I guess. I was in Kona for a week the other week and I went down to the beach and I'm just like, airports are full. Like it's just back to normal.
Yeah.
And it's not stopping, man. Like,
And so there is the next issue popping up about that too, is the fact that as the state reopens and the tiers rise and everybody's coming back and forth in Hawaii, the ticketing and to me this needs to be addressed and talked about also is, and I understand why locals are upset at a lot of the tourists, because we're being forced to still wear masks and we're being ticketed, and a lot of locals feel like we're under the microscope. Well, everybody else that just flies in, that's not from here, it's not part of our community. So when you tax the community, you take money out of local pockets and put it into local government.
Yeah.
But then here you have Tom, Dick, and Harry and his wife and his kids not wearing masks and not really giving a fuck either, and they're not getting ticketed, or they're not under the microscope. or they're not under, local law enforcement's radar. Like, I think,
I think it's sad because the state of Hawaii, like they cater more to outsiders than their own.
yeah.
And like, if anyone doesn't see that of what happened from last year to what it is now, it's like they gotta wake up.
Yeah.
Because like I think it's really sad.
And that's what, to me, I feel like that's what leads locals to feel a little bit more hostile than before against outsiders. Now it's almost like, not only that, just like how you said, now we're at the beaches again.
Yeah.
And what little we do have left, we feel like we gotta protect that shit even more now.
Yeah, but I have nothing against tourists.
Yeah,
man,
totally.
Like, bro, there's awesome people that do come here, but there is, it comes down to individuality. Like, are they going to respect it or not? But it's like us for Hawaiians, like we need to educate these people as well. Don't come off like a dick. Like, we need to educate them. Like if you see them doing something wrong, don't come off like real aggressive or like, bro, just be calm, and just be like, hey, like, like this is not respectful. There's a lot of people that come here, like, there's like people that come here from India, people that come here from
China,
third world countries. They do not understand rubbish, they just throw it on the ground. Like that's just their culture. And it's like our culture is to keep things clean. So it's like it's two opposites coming together, and it's just until you start traveling out to third world countries, then you really understand the grasp of that.
Oh, totally. I used to when I used to go to Indo, man. I used to just like
filthy, bro.
Well, first off, as soon as you step off the plane, it smells like you're in a tunnel because there's so much carbon monoxide and stuff, and you're just like, what is going on over here? And then you're right. After you're done eating something, it just gets tossed on the side.
Just tossed on the side,
So, there's these little. Actually, it's open sewers. So right on the side of the sidewalk has these like small little canal that's maybe about 2-3 feet wide, but next to the sidewalks running throughout the whole town with like wastewater and stuff just flowing through it and stuff. It's weird because I've seen the same things in Japan. Japan's crystal clear water. Fishes are in there. You know what I mean? Like Japan has this, obsessively clean.
Yeah.
And that's probably why Japan's so beautiful.
Dude, they take so much pride in their work too.
Yeah.
Like, it's
shout out to Japan.
Yeah, I've got the chance to travel there, and like such a beautiful place.
So what's your thoughts and feelings on tourism coming back to Hawaii, Kyle?
I definitely feel like we're kind of hitting that relapse as like the surge is coming back. I do feel a little bit frustrated when I see like tourists taking advantage and not wearing a mask. But I mean, for the most part, most of the tourists that I've ever interacted with, they always try to be polite and like what Jerm said, like
we're still the aloha state though, right?
Yeah,
guys?
No,
so
we are. Bro.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of them, they're good visitors, but it's also our job to be good hosts. And I've always had the mentality of if you visit a place, it's somewhat your own responsibility to figure out like what's not acceptable to do there. But it's not 100% on you. I mean, if you can find somebody who can teach you like what's right and what's wrong, that's awesome. If you can do it all yourself online, that's even better. But I mean, it's not 100% on you, but again, it's not 100% on the host.
Yeah. That's it's just understanding that when you're not like me, I'm Hawaiian, but if I go to Kauai, there's a pecking order. I'm not going to just jump inside the lineup and go deeper and take all the waves. There's a pecking line. There's a pecking order. I got to understand that I'm not from here. I'm an outsider, and I'm going to get the leftovers. I accept that. Until if I spend enough time in the community and I get to know people, then I can understand that, hey, can get this one or we're good. Then you develop a friendship and, that solid brotherhood that they let you. They're like, oh yeah, right here, Jones, bro. Take this one, and what what tourists don't have, they don't have that patience because they're here for such a short amount of time. They're like, I gotta take, this is mine, I'm entitled to it, this is America, which is not America. But that's a whole different podcast, maybe.
A
Yeah.
whole another part.
Gotta listen to the Kepa episode.
The Kappa episode. Shout out to Kappa, bro. But going back to that thing where they don't have the time like us because we do live here and stuff, that we can be a little bit more patient. But if there's anybody that's listening to this podcast that's coming from the mainland or not even the mainland, America or other countries, be patient, take your time. It costs you nothing to respect the locals and the culture. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think we'll get along better. And because right now, man, it is
it's
intense.
tense.
Yeah.
So tense.
I don't care about I don't care about people wearing masks. I think everything is just like, when with that, the Rainbow Falls thing. I'm there. First thing I look at, I'm not gonna lie, is their skin color, and but I know a lot of fucking howly white boy hammers though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So although their skin color will make me notice them, but then I want to, I'm not gonna judge them just off their skin color. So what are they? Are they doing anything bad? What's their intentions, and is it destroying the environment? Are they hurting the environment? Are they hurting anybody in the process of doing what they're doing before I come off aggressively to them? Yeah.
Yeah, we had some pretty crazy comments like, "Oh man, they're gonna endanger other lives," like another safety official. We had, like, we specifically called our other friends because he's like EMT and another firefighter. Like, we literally told them, "Hey, this is what's about to happen. Just giving you guys a heads up," and they showed up just because.
Okay, that's cool. See,
you know what I mean? And that was a community effort. No one's getting paid for this.
Yeah.
Like, Dane's on his vacation doing this stuff. Like, he enjoys this. Like, Wailuku River is his favorite river to do lines.
Yeah. It's amazing, bro.
It's nuts.
I lost a drone in that river, but still amazing.
Exactly.
I know somebody else who lost one.
There's a few people that lost those drones in that river.
But another thing, Kyle, remember what you brought up about? So there is a story. There's a story about the mo'o. Excuse me, guys.
Yeah.
But there's a story about the mo'o and stuff about that river. So, and all us locals, everybody that lives here knows how dangerous that river can be. Yeah. So for me, it was just like, okay, well, guaranteed germs, explain to them how dangerous it is. I'm pretty sure he's gonna make sure everything's done and like nobody's like how Cabbage said, nobody was hammering structures, repelling or breaking the structures or
like
breaking.
If you watch the video, it's pretty much like
you'll never know he was there.
I ain't cutting and pasting stuff. I'm literally leaving from what they started to all the way to the end because I know how locals will get with the videos.
Yeah.
And to me, it was a proven point. Like, imagine if I didn't show his face. It would have been different. What if it was a local doing this?
Yeah.
Would he get the 100%? Because like, I would say like 90%.
That's a good point though.
Yeah. 90% of like our fans, and where the video went, like they're all really supportive. Like they were stoked to see someone doing that in their hometown. Like they were so stoked. Then the other 10% is just like, whoa, how come you guys doing that? You stay exploiting this. You stay doing this. And I'm like, we live in a society that exploits. That's how the generation is these days. You know what I mean? If you don't like it or what you're seeing, next. Bro, unfollow or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Like, if you're going to be butthurt about it, like, maybe you got to look in the mirror. Like, straight up, like, no, I'm serious. You got to. Like, people sometimes just need to step back and look in the mirror. Like,
or maybe just step back before you write a response. Step back and then take a couple of minutes if you need to assess what's going on. And for me, what I always look for is, okay, so after Dane left, 5 minutes after Dane left, you wouldn't know he was there, which is for me as a Hawaiian, that's the main thing. Yeah. Could you tell that he was there? No. Did he leave rubbish? No. Did he break anything? No. Was anybody hurt by him doing something? It's on himself that he went off that.
If anything, everyone's jaws was broken because it was all in wow.
Dude, I was tripping out, dude. Yeah. I mean, but I've had, I remember one time I won't even say the surf spot because I don't blow up surf spots, you fuckers. But, I was at this surf spot on Oahu. And, I had my videographer, filming me because we were doing board shorts and stuff. I try to make sure that there's nothing in the shots, and he knows this too, that where you could see where we're at. The landmark. We try to keep the landmarks and stuff out.
There's always that one guy. It's that's the kind, huh?
Oh, yeah.
There's always that one.
Nah, I just got when we did this, I just got out of jail. I was gone for a while, so nobody really knew who I was anyway. And then, but a haole guy paddled up to him and he's like, "Hey, fuck, why are you fucking filming over here?" Sounded like Dog the Bounty Hunter, with a pigeon accent that was, he was just trying a little too hard, maybe, But right there, and he's not a fighter, he's not a confrontational person, and this guy was just yelling at you, fucking film over here. And then right there, he was kind of nervous and like back paddling. I saw him like swimming backwards. You swim back, and his camera swimming backwards, and the guy, was on him a little bit. And I was just like, oh, this fucking prick. And I paddled up to him. I was like, what's going on? What's up? And he's like, oh, this fucker is filming. I was like, bruh, who are you? Because, he's white, yeah. Who the fuck are you to tell him that he cannot film here? He's like, oh, we don't like this fucking place. I was like, well, you're from here. And I can't even say, I said the name, yeah. I said the name. I said, oh, so you're from here? And he's like, oh, no. I was like, well, you know what? He's a Nakanelua. He's from here. His parents is from here. His parents' parents is fucking from here. And I snapped at him, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, well, go inside then. Go inside. No problem. We'll go inside. He's like, oh, yeah, it's not worth it. And I was like, it's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it. And, that whole, like, there's a place for localism, but if it's done respectfully, and even as an outsider, if you're coming in, do it respectfully. And
respectfully educate them.
Yeah, educate them.
Like, try what everyone does, like, the generation in society now is they jump the gun before educating themselves. Mm-hmm. There's always three sides to a story: the truth, his side, and the other person's side.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, there's a lot of jumping the gun these days.
Mm-hmm. And so what do you like? I was just talking about my stuff, but I want to really get your guys' opinions on on the energy and stuff that's in town right now, because we just opened back up. So how do you guys feel about seeing like Hilo Bayfront is packed again with tourists?
Yeah, I don't know. Most of the time I'm behind a computer, so I don't really know. Like half the time I'm always editing, so I don't know what's going on outside.
But, I mean, I only know when I go to get poke from like Poke Market.
Yeah, that's true, but it is booming. Is it helping our economy? I don't know. There is a lot of outsiders that are here, but maybe they are helping in a way. I don't know. Like, what do you think, Kyle?
I mean, they're probably, I want to say, definitely helping the restaurant community, because the restaurant community definitely took a hit. I just found out one of the Lucy's is going to be closing down because I guess they lost so much business during this lockdown.
Those baby burritos.
Ooh, their carne asada was fire, dude. Even their their what was that? The pork one too?
Yeah, they have very good food. It's sad that they're closing though.
And she was that lady that owned that restaurant was a sweetheart too.
She's very, very nice.
Yeah, she's amazing. Good customer service, takes good care of you. You know, very respectful. Because she's actually from Seattle. She's actually from Seattle, but provided a lot of jobs to, you know,
big time. You
yeah,
know?
a lot of jobs and stuff too. So
I remember when they first opened, it was just like everyone just knew them for their huge burrito.
yeah,
They're like, "Did you go there and try that big burrito? Can you?" do
Germs
it?"
is like,
Can you?
you know,
do
I
it?"
did. yeah,
Yeah. I take 2.
I've had production companies specifically request that we would stop there for lunch, and one of them, they even stopped there for, I think it was like their second lunch of the day. One production company, one day shoot, we literally had 3 lunches. The first one was in Waimea, second one was at Lucy's, and then
What
the third
they was
one was
doing on
Hawaiian
production?
style.
Why they was so hungry for? What kind of production that was?
something to do with marijuana, maybe.
No,
Probably, yeah.
actually, it was for Spectrum.
Oh, bro, you guys
Sean Pila was on it.
you guys saw that that van, the Spectrum van that was it was viral too. It was on fire on the side of the road.
Oh no.
You guys didn't see that? It was on top Hawaii viral feed, which I just found out yesterday got banned again.
Yeah,
So he's
of
using Whole Hungry Hawaiian again.
yeah, because the haters.
Yeah, dude. How sad is that though?
That's how
man?
it is, you know.
Like, I mean, that's probably a good topic for another podcast too about.
It's so crazy though, like Hawaii Viral and all of that, like how it is. Like they take content from other people and then they just make it
Yeah.
a thing, and then everyone, you know, everyone loves drama, so they're just gonna.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's such a crazy concept.
So yeah, I was kind of bummed when it was one of my favorite viral feeds on.
Because before that, it was Reddit, and it still is Reddit. That's the drama feed. Like,
Oh yeah. Do you know Lucky works for Reddit?
oh no way!
Yeah, dude, he works for Reddit, dude.
Oh, that's so classic.
Yeah, so I was actually asking him, you know, if he could give me any pointers on how my podcast can get traction on Reddit and stuff too. And he's like, he even told me, he's like, you got great content, man. It's, you know, the things that you guys and your friends talk about, your guests talk about, man. It's that's what Reddit's about. So it'll probably do very well on Reddit too.
Yeah, this
So
podcast will guarantee take off.
I hope so.
It's something Hawaii needs, honestly. Like Hawaiians need a platform, you know, just people from Hawaii need a platform to express themselves and get it out. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working on this podcast for what, 3 years?
Oh, for a while you've been working.
2 or
on
3
this.
years, bro. About 2 or 3 years, I know.
Yeah.
Shit.
I remember the idea you had, but it's
Yeah.
like at the time we were super busy.
Yeah, I was like, Jeremy,
then-
bro, you want to do a podcast together? I was trying to get everybody on
Yeah,
board
just
to do
everybody
a
on
podcast.
board to do it, but now it's like a thing, and it's like, bro,
Yeah.
you only can go up from here, you know.
And like I've listened to other podcasts and stuff, and I was just like, man, I think, you know, because print, and I love print too. I love print, but you know, print has died. You know, my favorite magazine, Contrast Magazine, favorite local magazine, man, Contrast Magazine. It's no longer in existence and stuff.
Yeah,
because
my dad
everything-
used to be a pressman,
Yeah, see,
you know, and he lost his job, like working for Tribune Herald, because the pressmans are done.
Yeah. And they got, you know, a lot of jobs. And look at Love's Bakery, man. So a lot of companies, man, just didn't survive this COVID thing. But you know,
And it's a lot of local companies.
yeah,
I think that's the saddest part. No matter how much we went there to support them in this time, it's just
it's still,
there wasn't enough traction here to push their product, you know.
Yeah. Not
It
only
just
that-
shows that how dependent we are on tourism.
yeah. So that should, I mean, that's a good wake up call for us to understand that, you know,
Yeah. We can't just depend on that.
yeah. So how do we, how do you guys think we can work around that? What's the result?
Agriculture.
I
I
100%.
100% agree with agriculture can go very far for us.
Back, we need it back. Definitely need it back. Sustainability. Yeah. Well,
Stop depending on outside when
on
it's like-
tourism. Stop depending on tourism. And another thing I like to say about, you know, tourists, since we're on the subject, was, you know, the hotels, most of these hotels, and in fact, people aren't even homeowners on Airbnb, man, they actually treated me like a person this time, where, I had a really hard time renting Airbnbs before because I'm local. We don't rent to locals. I submitted a complaint to my attorney. I was just like, Mo, let's file a class action lawsuit. Let's put this together, file a class action lawsuit. I can get a dozen other people to jump on this lawsuit too, because, once they heard that we're from here, their response is, we don't rent to locals. And then you go and you read their comments. Oh, from here, from there, nobody's from Big Island, in there, that gives the reviews.
Yeah, because they know when they have one local, we're going to have 30 people show up.
Yeah. But I mean, if you got my credit card, who cares? If I broke something, I'm going to pay for it. You got my credit card.
Dude, I did a wedding a few months back, right? And then was it Airbnb? It was my friend's wedding. Did the wedding. People were complaining that too much people came. Shut down the wedding.
Wow, dude.
The manager came, whoever was managing the house came by, started snapping at the groom, just like one of my good friends. It's like, everyone got to leave.
Wow.
And the wedding just finished, and we were just doing engagement photos.
Wow, that's heavy.
Dude, crazy.
So,
and everyone there, yeah, it was COVID. His brother is a police officer. He said, we are following everything. We are all family here. The only people that was outsiders was like us, because we were the film crew and another photography crew. But I consider him family. We always hang out and stuff.
That's crazy. What I noticed from the Airbnb community is that since we weren't, travel wasn't allowed, mainland travel wasn't allowed here, they let me rent the houses now. And they treated me thank you for staying with us, And I fucking appreciated that, though, and this is the first time that those types of people in that community, Airbnb community, actually treated me like a person. Yeah. So, but that goes back to the whole conversation about like locals versus tourists, and it's because of that interaction or negative way of interacting with locals that it does create that stereotype. It does create that negative vibe that we have against people that aren't from here. It's perpetuated because of the kind of stuff that we don't rent to locals.
And I know a lot of people in Kona, like some of my good friends, they have houses with an extra guest room and an extra studio where they did take a hit because like they needed that to help pay for their mortgage, you know, and they're already working 2 jobs, and then like everything hit, and they're like, if it wasn't for like loans and grants, they said they would have been screwed.
Yeah, totally. They would have lost their home, man.
Everything, yeah.
But so how is this system designed to support foreigners that are allowed to buy multiple homes here? One guy I called on Airbnb, I called another house and tried to book another house. He said, "Oh, I talked to you earlier. I own this one too." I was just like, "You motherfucker." Fucking haole.
It's just, the system is just designed to fail, honestly.
But let's talk about the word haole, because
no breath.
Yeah, but you can say, I can say I have haole friends, which just means foreign friends are not from here.
Yeah,
I have haole friends, but it's even how you say it, because you can tell somebody, like, we can joke around and tell each other, "Hey, fuck you, germ." Yeah. It's not taking in a bad context, or I can look you directly in the eye and say, "Hey, fuck you."
Oh, I took down too hard.
You know what I mean? But
no, yeah,
it's how you say it, and in the language and the energy and how it's directed that really says how it should be taken.
Yeah, like we joke around with like our nurse friends or travel nurse friends.
Yeah,
they know. They're like, "I just on holiday," and they say them with like their accent, and it's just like, I'm like, "Oh my goodness, who taught you this?" Yeah. Like, he's like, "That's what I am, right?"
Yeah.
I was like,
"Hey, don't be highly insecure."
Don't be highly insecure. Oh, that's such a good one.
I love when film crews say it too.
Yeah, I just on howley on set, huh? Like, I don't know. It's just like what you said. Like, it depends how you say it. Like it could be a derogatory remark too. It's just like black people calling each other the N-word.
Yeah. You're totally right. So yeah, it's good. That's a very good example, about how black people can call each other the N word to each other, but if it's a white guy saying that, then it's like,
Boom, you got the whole community coming in.
like,
Black
oh,
Lives
you
Matter just
racist,
rolling in.
you
there.
racist motherfucking white entitled. Well, I call them colonizers. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when I'm getting into a heated debate with a foreigner, I'm just like, oh, you have a very colonizer attitude.
You got to speak to them in their own terms or they're going to understand.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm part white.
Yeah, so am I. I'm half
we,
white.
yeah,
bro.
we all are.
You
Like
know?
we're all white. We're all Japanese. We're all Filipino. We're all Portuguese. It's the cool thing about Hawaii.
Yeah, we're just mixed.
And but as Kanaka, there is a very sore spot too, though. You know what I mean? It's a tough one, man, because
It's definitely a tough one.
Hawaiians as a race, they lost everything too. So people that are calling Hawaiians racist, they really have to, before they even say that, they have to understand what Hawaiians went through in order for them to
true.
say something as bad as that, as calling somebody racist. It's like, it's just outsiders. It's not that I don't
But
like
then
you.
again, like, are we as Hawaiians following the same paths of what happened to us?
Yeah, are we perpetuating
Are we
that?
perpetuating that same hate?
Or
You know
not
what I mean?
not even the same hate too. That hate, but also that mentality. And the things that now we're fighting about instead of supporting each other.
Yeah.
That that energy and that mentality too is we took on that.
I see it a lot, like it comes back to the egos. Like I see a lot of egos. Like, no one really, they say they want to work together, but then when it comes time to, do they really step to the plate and work together?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant like eagles. So I was picking up birds. I was thinking, what are we
like
talking
eagles,
about? Yeah. Eagles, bro.
Eagle.
We don't even eagles over here, you fucker.
No, you get eagles.
But egos, yes.
Eagles, yeah. Plenty eagle.
Okay, so what can we do to better Hawaii on an individual basis? Like, Jerm, tell me in your words what you're doing to make, to promote Hawaii and still make Hawaii cool for tourists.
I don't know. For like my job is like, we walk on a fine line every day. Like, what are we exploiting or what are we doing? Like, I ask myself that question every day. Like, is this the right thing to be doing or is it not the right thing to be doing? But at the end of the day, it's like everyone has to eat. Too. But I'm real respectful about it. And my whole thing is like, what legacy are you gonna leave behind when you're gone? That's the only reason I'm doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Something could happen tomorrow, and like I could get in my car and like get hit by a car and and die. Like, what are you gonna leave behind for the next generation? That's my thing. Like, what are you doing for your community? What are you, like this year, like I told myself, like we're gonna give back way more than what we've already done.
No, I think you the whole team from Prime Footage, I think you guys put out like really good content that it excites the community. Even though like you did a piece about a haole kayaker, man, like all me and my friends, we were excited. We were in awe about that. And like I said,
the ones that complained didn't know who we were.
Yeah, probably
that's what it was. They didn't understand. They're like, oh yeah, it's probably like another film crew coming in.
But that's the thing. Your page is not on private. You have a public profile, so you can go inside your feed and you can say, I don't know, dude. So
you know what I mean? We share all kind of videos. Like we did like 4 videos. We did the hunting one. Like that was random. Like it was dude, it was happening across my street. How could I not go? And I showed up, talked to the owner of the property, and I'm like, hey, can I film some stuff? And I just made it happen.
Yeah.
Because I knew the hunting community would respect that. And it's something that needed to be documented. I found out there's a beach cleanup at Bayfront on Saturday, and it was a senior project.
Yeah.
And for us is like, dude, like this kind of stuff needs to be documented and shared. Like,
And you're promoting that.
Yeah.
Now other people are gonna watch
Exactly.
that and say, "Fuck,
Like,
I can do that."
you know,
if
like-
you can do them then.
when you have a following, like, what are you gonna do with your following? You know, like, there's all kind of influencers, but what are they really doing for the community? For us, is like, I feel that we're just trying to push people to be like, hey, like, let's go out and help. Let's go out and push each other. Let's go out and build with each other. Like, I just had a conversation with Cody Faye yesterday, and like, you know, like, I was like, she wants to learn certain things. I'm like, if you ever want to learn how to edit or anything, let me know. Like, I'm not afraid to teach anybody. You know, like, you know that
Yeah,
firsthand.
totally,
like, I
bro.
would
Like, you
teach.
drive over here, dude. I'm just like, oh, we could FaceTime, but you drive over here and I'm dumb. And that actually helps. That helps me out so much more than trying to
everything-
explain over the phone.
everything is hands on. You know, like, if it's better, like the school I went to, you know, it was a charter school. We were the second graduating class, and everything was hands on. Like, we worked in the fish ponds, we worked in the lois, we did all of that. So I know that hands on learning is how you learn. That's how some people learn. Some people can do the book work. Some people can do the hands on. Me, I'm a hands on type of person.
Me too, dude. I think well, you know, a lot of, like, look at New Zealand. New Zealand has a whole, and we talked about this on Kual's podcast also. The New Zealand government promotes the arts.
Yeah, and they promote so much for their culture.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable. Like, I wish we did that more here.
totally. But you know, Jeremy, it's hard because
is.
we're a part of the U.S. And I think that's why we're almost fighting for our independence, so that we can say where the money goes. I don't believe our money should go to Iraq, or I don't believe our money and what we pay should go to these, you know, to Mauna Kea, to pay for cops to arrest us.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're giving ourselves bullets to shoot ourselves with.
You know, like, I've traveled to other countries, and like, they still think Hawaii is independent. You know, and to me, it's like, this is another country. Like,
Yeah.
like, I've went there with an American passport. They're like, how come there's no Hawaii passport?
Yeah.
Say you're from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And it's like, for them to realize that, like, that's saying something, like, worldwide.
It totally is. So I like Jerem's answer. So Kyle, you're in the hot seat now. What you know, with the economy, or not economy returning, but with tourists returning, what's your take on that, and how are you gonna are you welcoming about it, or are you standoffish, or what's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, I know personally for me, like, I know I don't like seeing ignorant tourists that try to take advantage of situation just because they're here. They feel like they can get away with everything.
I feel like they're more hostile. I've noticed on social media that they're more hostile towards us. Like, they're flying over here and they're being hostile towards us.
I feel like just because with everything that happened last year, and like, everyone's just so
Frustrated,
on edge,
yeah.
they're just frustrated. They're like, what are we doing? How are we gonna survive? You know, like, and then they come here to Hawaii to just be like, I just need a break from America.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've come to kind of accept that I'm always gonna see that no matter what. But I mean, as far as the economy goes, I mean, I guess I kind of welcome it. I know quite a few tourism companies took a huge hit. Some of them closed up, or right now some of them are barely hanging on. But I mean, there's other industries. For instance, right now I have several friends on Oahu. They're fighting for the wedding industry. So right now on Oahu, apparently you can go to a luau
At a hotel.
But you can't have a wedding reception.
Private land.
So right now they're having that battle because, I mean, I have several friends that's all they were doing, and then lockdown went in place. Weddings were canceled. I had
Church was canceled, bro.
I had weddings canceled. I had proms canceled. And it's like, yeah, our income took a huge hit, and there, I know the frustration is that, oh, we're catering to the tourists first, and I mean I kind of get that, but it's like,
Dude, we
Just
are.
be equal
Like,
though, yeah. Just be
Yeah.
equal. The way you
Dude,
treat the tourists,
so-
please treat us.
it's yeah,
with as
for
much
sure. Like,
respect, yeah.
like my dad died, like, and we just had a funeral like a few weeks ago for him, and it's just like we still had to do the whole. We couldn't do the big party and this and that. We had to do the whole Zoom thing
Yeah.
because
I saw that.
Dodo
too.
Mortuary was saying that you could only have 10 people, and I'm just like, how does that even work?
Yeah, that's not like even even with the Samoan culture and a lot of Polynesian cultures.
It's a big thing,
yeah.
like,
it helps the grieving process
and
and
like yeah, Tongan cultures is like for days, bro.
For a month, yeah.
Like, for like so long, bro, so long.
so I mean, you're shutting down our churches. You're shutting down the way we even you're not allowing us to even mourn the way that culturally we've
Yeah.
mourned for
Yeah.
thousands of years. So I think that in itself needs to be addressed. But, with having one person in office, like we can all say, hey, Germ, bro, go run for mayor. We're going to back you, Germs. You know what I mean? But you'll get in office and you'll understand that you're just one person, even in office.
Yeah.
And you work with 9 other people that, because of who you are and what you stand for, and you can't be you're not taking the handouts or the lobbies and stuff.
It takes a community to
It
change.
does.
It does. It's not
You have to flip.
one person this,
Who lead a
one
system.
person this. It takes a community that's on the same page to do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, just try and see where we go. You know what I mean? Give people a chance before judging, being so quick to judge them. Give them a chance, or give them enough rope to hang themselves with. Then you know what I mean. Let's support them until that. And that's another thing too, is we're never always gonna see eye to eye on 100% of the topics or problems.
Yeah, but that's when you sit down and talk about it. You can come to a mutual agreement.
Yeah.
It's like us as creators, we're always talking about ideas and this and this and this, and then I've worked with certain people where it's like, no, we only can have them this way, but it's like there comes a time when you have to do a project or whatever, you will come to a mutual agreement.
But we're artists too, and some of that thing, we're a little bit more open-minded, but also we're like, okay, well, you can do what you want to do on your section, but I'm gonna do what I do on my section. And in our heads, we're thinking, we'll go see who's one look more mean. Shit. Okay. Well, but that type of friendly competition, it just helps.
It pushes you too.
and
It
builds
pushes
and pushes, and it's a
know,
good thing.
even collaborating, it pushes you to be like, hey, like let's really push the boundaries. That's why I love to teach people how to edit and how teach people camera work and all of that, is because your creativity will always separate you from each other.
Yeah, and you can be inspired. You'll see. You might have, in fact, you've taught me a bunch of things, and I don't know if you like the things that I've been doing, but you've taught me a bunch of things, and then I implemented into my videos and stuff where I use it, then I add this to that, or I add a little bit of this, and then you're just like, hey, that's pretty cool, and then you might take it right back and build on that too, and that's what art's about.
That's what it is. That's what collaboration's about as well. And I appreciate everyone's different arts, videos, pictures, whatever, because I know the work that goes on behind it, and like it takes time to create a piece. You know how it is when you edit a piece. It takes time.
Well, I just get stuck, and then I'm just like, and I'll do the whole YouTube and then I play video games and try to get my frustrations out on the video games and stuff. Then go back to it. Then I'm just like, fuck, I'm gonna bother Germ. Where's he? I'm stuck, bro. But okay, that's cool.
But we usually figure it out. We just get it done.
And for people that don't know Kyle Douglas, man, when everything was normal, dude, I used to rent how I know Kyle's. I used to rent Kyle's First Fridays, I rent sound equipment from him too. And man, I miss those First Friday get-togethers and stuff.
Can it even be a thing anymore? You know what I mean? Because like I don't know, Big Island is so lax with this pandemic. Like, Kikai boys are just playing the other day at Puibe. You know, like, I went through like a raging birthday the other week. That is just like, are we back to normal? Like it's happening in the homestead. Like,
yeah. Good shit though, man. Yeah, we definitely want things to get back to some type of normalcy of how things used to be, but you know, let's not forget you know, the change that also needs to be done on a local level that COVID did show us, you know. Like, man, look at politics now. We're the only state that wasn't allowed to travel within itself.
yeah,
That has to tell you something, man. That our officials, they all need to get the heave ho. If you're on board, if you are on board with anything that went down during this COVID thing, man, they need to just get the heave ho, man. I know it's a tough one, you know, because look at all these. It is the money, but Hawaii got the reason why we're in such problem. We depend on tourism is because we allowed ourselves to depend on tourism. Not to say tourism is bad. Tourism should just be one tool on our belt.
not the whole tool.
Not the only tool. We only get one hammer. Why do you want screwdriver today?
You know what I mean?
We
Like
no more.
Like we export so much things that is locally grown here. It blows my mind where it's just like, how come it's not coming
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. No, like we can grow a lot of our own produce, and just like how you said, agriculture needs to.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, all these farms, like they gotta pay, you know. So it's like they have to export out there because they're gonna get more money from there.
Yeah,
They're not gonna get more money from us because all of us are struggling here.
Yeah, and you know, and organic stuff. Let's be honest, bro. Organic stuff is expensive, man. It's really cheaper for us to go eat McDonald's, the value meal. It's 99 cents burger. It's convenient.
Well, it's not 99 cents anymore.
Yeah.
Bro.
The 99 cents burger is now $3.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, times have changed.
Yeah, totally. But okay, we're gonna wrap up this podcast. It's been over an hour long. Went by super quick, bro. Mahalo, you guys, for stopping by.
Yeah, mahalo you, bro.
Okay, big things
Anytime.
coming up. You guys follow Prime Footage, and you know he has a viral hit at least once a year. So you'll see his new viral
We
hit.
always post content. We try and do it a few times a week. I don't know. We're doing a lot more in the community this year. So yeah.
Are we gonna see Hilo Town Rock return? HTR, man, that thing was just like
Actually,
about
we're doing a whole giveaway with Born.
Born.
Aloha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we're actually implementing the live back into it. We actually got the whole HTR crew coming back,
Oh, that was cool.
and then we're gonna help them with a whole live stream
That I know.
for
I
the
saw.
giveaway.
I saw that truck, and I was just like, God damn,
Yeah.
you have a lot of you have a lot of money to play with as an investment. But I'm really interested to see its impact and return because, you know, I was just talking to my friend Lucky, and we're always just how do you network and stuff, and do you have a good rate of return on certain things you do? And he had a friend that paid was it one of the Kardashians, you know, hey Luck.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Which Kardashian was it for the story?
What?
The Kardashian for her candle?
Oh, it was Kim.
Oh, okay. Oh, Kim Kardashian. And then you know, how much followers did she get from that?
3.
3.
3 new followers from that.
So, and how much did she spend? 25 grand?
No, she spent like 125.
125,000 for 3 followers.
Expensive followers.
Dude, you could have done better for her, bro.
No, just standing on a corner, asking people to fucking follow you would have gotten a better pound for pound return.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian.
That is crazy, man. Okay, yeah, this almost went into a new podcast, but I got lucky on the podcast next, so we're gonna talk about a bunch of cool and fun things too. But thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, DJ Rum Runner. Kyle Douglas. What's his nickname?
Boffins.
Boffins.
Mr. Boffins. He
Mr.
feeds the
Boffins.
children of Hawaii. Watch out for this
That's
guy.
another topic.
That's a food basket podcast. We'll get to that soon.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys,
All right, bro.
man. Wrong Block Podcast, man, where we talk to people, not about them. Thank you guys. Aloha.